What's up guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Harmon. Today's video takes place in a town called Jonesboro, Arkansas. That is of course where I am right now. If you're new to my channel, I don't just talk about these crimes, I actually go to where they happened and show you the locations. Jonesboro is northeast Arkansas. A school shooting happened at a middle school in 1998 by two young kids. The two school shooters were Mitchell Johnson, who was 13, and Andrew Golden, who was 11. The date was March 24th, 1998. Andrew Golden and Mitchell Johnson, again, were attending their middle school called Westside Middle School. Both Johnson and Golden shot and killed 4 students and 1 teacher, so 5 people total. As this was 1 year before Columbine happened, at the time it was the second deadliest shooting in the United States, until of course Columbine came around and that topped that. And of course there have been other school shootings that have now topped Columbine. Background on the two young school shooters. Mitchell Johnson was born August 11th, 1984. Again, he was the older one, he was 13. Mitchell Johnson was born in Rochester, Minnesota, and then moved on to Jonesboro here with his brother and his mom, as his mom was divorced at the time. His mom then met an inmate as she worked at a correctional facility, and she married one of the inmates named Terry Woodward. So already the Johnson family had some interesting background, but supposedly Mitchell Johnson got along with his new stepdad. 1 year before the shooting took place, Mitchell Johnson was actually charged with sexual assault and against a 3-year-old. But apparently that was expunged because of his age, meaning that it would never come up again in court for any other reason. It was kind of just pushed aside. It doesn't say if he got in trouble for that at all. Andrew Golden, he was raised in Jonesboro here, so he lived here his whole life. He lived here with his parents, and he visited his grandparents all the time. Everything seemed like a very loving, very good growing up for him. Doesn't mention much other than that. Both Johnson and Golden apparently were known to be bullies though to their fellow students. They apparently weren't like close friends, but they would team up together to bully other kids. And Johnson, the 13-year-old, he even was overheard stating numerous times that he had a lot of killing to do, and apparently threatened his ex-girlfriend, a 6th grader named Candace Porter. So he already had a history of threatening, violent behavior. And then of course Golden, the 11-year-old, he apparently would engage others in fistfights. And another student accused Golden of shooting her cat with a BB gun, killing it. And then 3 months before they shot up the school, Golden was overheard saying that he intended to shoot people at the school. Near the end of the school day on March 23rd, 1998, the day before the massacre happened, Johnson told some of his friends and one of his exes to not come to school the next day because he heard something bad was going to happen. So the night before the shooting took place, Mitchell and Golden loaded up Mitchell's mother's van. Their plan was to take Mitchell's mom's van and load it up with all their different weapons. They had a whole assortment of weapons that they stole. They had 9 weapons that they stole from Golden's grandfather's house, including about 2,000 rounds of ammunition. I don't know exactly if their entire plan was to just kill every single person in the school, but they had enough ammunition to do so. So the following morning, March 24th, 1998, both boys drove together in Mitchell's mother's van and pulled into the parking lot. So it sounds like Johnson started heading out of the school a little early and set up his weapons and everything else in the woods next to the school. Meanwhile, around 12:30 p.m., Golden asked to leave the classroom for whatever reason, and he went out and pulled the fire alarm, and then he made his way out to where Mitchell Johnson was, in the woods. Again, once the teachers and all the students started filing out of the school because of the fire alarm, that is when they started an open fire on everyone there. Initially, when teachers heard the gunshots, they thought it was some sort of either prank or someone just trying to scare the children. So the 5 people that were killed were 32-year-old Shannon Wright, who of course was one of the teachers, 12-year-old Stephanie Johnson, no relation to Mitchell Johnson, the shooter, 11-year-old Natalie Brooks, 12-year-old Paige Herring, 11-year-old Brittany Varner. It's interesting and surprising that, again, they didn't end up killing more due to the fact that, of course, they had 2,000 rounds of ammunition, so they obviously had a ridiculous amount. So I don't know if they were just terrible shots, I'm not exactly sure, but either way, they ended up killing 5, injuring 10. Alright guys, so this is the memorial that they built right behind the school. It's like a little sundial, and it has all 4 of the students who were killed and then the teacher who was killed. Mitchell Johnson and Andrew Golden were only tried as juveniles because at that time Arkansas state law stated that no one under the age of 17 or 18 could be tried as adults for any kind of murder. So because of that, they were only sentenced to stay in a juvenile prison till they reached the age of 21. Andrew Golden was released on his 21st birthday on May 25th, 2007. So Mitchell Johnson was released on his 21st birthday on August 11th, 2005. Mitchell Johnson had several other arrests after he was released from the initial school shooting murders. 2007, Mitchell Johnson was arrested on drug possession. In 2008, he was arrested again on theft and financial identity fraud, and drug possession once again. So it looks like Andrew Golden was the only one who got his life on track after he got out of prison. But he ended up passing away in a car accident on July 27th, 2019. So both of them, I feel like they should have got lengthier sentences. And thankfully after this occurred, I think Arkansas changed their state laws so that way juveniles could be charged as adults and given longer sentences for murder and stuff like that.